Hello. So our facility is the county mental health clinic, and we sort of have a hierarchy with the board of directors at the top, and then the executive director, and then sort of different branch leads like the medical director, the clinical director, chief operations officer, which is like systems and administrative stuff, and then the financial officer. And so then underneath each one of those people is sort of a middle manager, and then that breaks out into teams, and then um, the the baseline kind of workforce, boots on the ground people. Um, and our decisions really happen at the highest levels with what we call the leadership team. So we have the leadership team, which is the executive director, the clinical director, the operations officer, and the financial officer. And then it probably would be the medical director, but the medical director is so busy that he's not really involved in a lot of the planning as far as fundraisers or the new building or personnel stuff. He's really, really just focused on the medical piece and being the prescriber and all the intricacies involved in that because that's so involved. Um, and then underneath the leadership team, I guess is what we call the management team. And so it's like sort of middle management, all of the team leads. And that's what I'm part of. So I have my small team of people. There's 11 of us on the team that I'm on. Um, and so I'm involved in some of the decision making, but really, most of the decisions come from those four people that kind of work together on the top level stuff. And then some of it kind of makes it to middle management. And then it rarely makes it to like a staff meeting where it would touch everyone. Um, and usually the operations officer, which is my direct supervisor, or the executive director, are the ones that make the agendas. And the executive director is really in the highest position of power in the agency. And the board of directors, of course, is above her. Um, she does a she does a really good job of involving that leadership team for different sort of perspectives on things, but really it doesn't often get to other areas of the agency. And it's really hard because I kind of see pros and cons to both options there because like I said, with the medical director being so busy, the nurses are so busy um, doing nurse things that they're often not super interested in like a lot of the operations planning type things around like the direction of the agency and how we're going to roll out different programs and meet different metrics, and the same with the clinicians and the all the therapists. And I mean, there's a really clear difference between the people that are interested in doing sort of like the macro style work, and then the people that really want to do like the clinical one-on-one direct service work. And a lot of times it seems like there's kind of a sort of a divide between those two. People take a lot of pride in doing their clinical work and being really good at it, and pursuing really progressive methods to get better at what they're doing, and they're often not interested in the other stuff. And so it could probably be a bit disenchanting for leadership to go through all the work of trying to involve everyone when a lot of people aren't interested. But I think if people are interested, they can totally be part of it if they voice that. Like, I've made it pretty clear that I'm really interested in some of the higher level systemic type of work around how our agency delivers services, and creating this culture of accountability and inclusion, and really having data driven programs. Um, and so I've been kind of invited into those conversations and into the quality improvement and quality assurance type stuff. I think there's just like a general attitude that most people aren't that interested in that, and they want to do the job that they went to school for, or that they kind of their career, their passion. Um I think that some of those tools could be helpful in certain arenas, but again, like our agency is like 70 people. Not everybody's interested in it. A lot of times people just kind of check out and they're like, I just want to serve my people that I work with, my clients, you know. Um, I think that I could use like the dotmocracy and the other the other tool that we were given. Let me look at the name. Oh, the idea rating sheet. I actually liked the idea rating sheet more than the dotmocracy. I thought that was just probably more practical and it seemed less like patronizing, I guess, to me. And I think I could use that in my team as far as like when we write different protocols or when we decide to kind of roll out different program ideas. We're a really cohesive, communicative team. And so it comes a little more naturally to us and we kind of just like bounce ideas off of each other in real time. And that's kind of how all of our meetings go. And so it's a little more open to asking like, what do you guys think about this? Is this something we could do? How could you imagine this being differently? What would make it more efficient? What would make it more enjoyable? What are your favorite parts of your job? What are your least favorite parts of your job? Well, we still have to do those parts of our job. So how are we going to make them more enjoyable? Or, how could we share the burden a little bit more? So just kind of generating some conversations around that. Um, and again, like I have more control over my team and what we do, and I can definitely bring some really new, fun ideas. I probably wouldn't show up to a staff meeting as like the intern and say, you know, well, that's really great, executive director, but how about this dotmocracy? I don't think I'm quite there yet, but maybe plant some little seeds by using it in my team, and then if it's successful, kind of making sure that that's heard at our management team meeting, and then maybe upper leadership will be interested in trying it out for some of the things that maybe they don't get a lot of good vibes from or good feedback from regarding how they roll things out or present things. So yeah, well, thanks. Talk to you guys soon.